Welcome to Something Slight on Kismet Radio. I'm your host, Tara, and we're here at Private Stock with your favorite Chicago music journalist, Leor Galil. Leor has been a senior staff writer at the Chicago Reader for 12 years and is the only full-time journalist on the music beat at any Chicago newspaper. That's crazy.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, not at all, actually.
No.
He's also written for The Washington Post, MTV, Rolling Stone, and Forbes, among other publications. Welcome to the studio. How are you?
It's great. I mean, I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so happy you're here. Long time coming.
I know. And I haven't seen you since the pandemic started. Like, it's
Is
been
that real?
Such a long time.
That's crazy. That's absurd.
Yeah, I've held up in my apartment for a very long time.
Same.
Yeah.
But, okay, so we're going to get into our conversation, but we're going to play a few records first.
Kept my weapon tucked, ask my mama how we come. This here like all we know, if they wonder what I'm on. I kept it Indiana, ho. So, I'm forever rapping till the day a nigga gone. If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you what you say? If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you what you say? I pick it up and serve it to ya, make ya hoe say hallelujah. Out the city, they say brother, they might be the one to miss that how you for anyone who don't know where he from. Get to it 42, let them know just how you bum. Like I'm from NAPTOWN and I ain't gon' kick it with suckers. How could you ever think that it was sweet? You think that I yell this shit out for the substance? You think that nap is in my favorite subject? You think I rap about it but don't love it? You think the way that I act out in public, some sort of act when I really be thugging? Baby, this raw to the bone. Baby, this here for the grown folks. Please tell me what is your own, cause I get you right if you don't know. So of course in the 317, it ain't no option but keep it up in. Get out of pocket, that shit in our jeans. Somebody knocking, I'm clutching my piece. I kept my weapon tucked, ask my mama how we come. This here like all we know, if they wonder what I'm on. I kept it Indiana, ho. So, I'm forever rapping till the day a nigga gone. If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you ain't know what y'all say. If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you what you say? And like it's It's a buy one get one free. For sure. Motherfucking come on, come on. You feel me? I got legends in this bitch. Yeah. I got League Wap in this hole. Yeah. I got Dino in this motherfucker. Yeah. So we gon' get this motherfucker right on the one time. Let's go. Say for sure. For sure. Out the gate. Out the gate. Out the gate. How you what? How you what? How you what? What you say? What you? All time. What show? For sure. Out the gate. Out the gate. How you what? How you what? What you say? What you what? Ask my mama how we come. It's still like all we know. If they wonder what I'm on, I kept it Indiana home. So, I'll forever rep it till the day a nigga gone. If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you what? What you say? If they ask me, I'm for sure. Out the gate, how you what? What you say? What you say?
So you're from DC, not Chicago.
Not Chicago.
Yeah. How'd you make your way to Chicago?
I graduated college in 2008 and did AmeriCorps, and I was like, I didn't fucking know what to do. And I applied to grad schools. I applied to some PhD programs in American Studies because it's what I did in undergrad, and I really enjoyed it. And I applied to some journalism schools. And I graduated into what ended up being the Great Recession. So I was not the only person with this idea. I got waitlisted at Medill and eventually let them, they let me in. I convinced them that I knew how to put words together despite my test scores. And yeah, I moved out here to go to grad school, to go to journalism school at Northwestern, which it was weird and interesting. It was the largest class that they had ever admitted. It was like twice the size of their previous class because they needed money. And I definitely felt like I was being pushed through like a, assistant. Like I was just I'm trying to think of the nicest way to say this. It was evident that I was a customer.
Oh, okay. That's tough.
It is tough. And also, I'd done journalism. Like at that point, I'd already landed my first freelance story with the Boston Phoenix. I moved here from Boston. And so I wasn't unfamiliar with journalism. And I'm a smart ass. Like I wasn't afraid to like challenge professors or like push back. And it was also like when I say double the size, the size of my class was 90 people. So there was still like a sense of like one-on-one.
Like the total class.
The total class size. Yeah. Yeah. Like, and like individual classrooms were like 16 people. So I got to know my classmates really well. But there wasn't, the best thing that coming to grad school, going to journalism school did for me was bring me to Chicago.
Yeah.
Like I learned the basics of journalism. I learned about hard news journalism, which I had no experience working in. It's nice to have that safety net. Gave me no connections. I started freelancing for the Reader before I graduated. My first story came out my last quarter of school.
Was it a music?
It was a music story. It was about a DIY space in Logan Square called Strangelight. And Philip Montoro, who's the music editor of the Reader, had been really keen to run any stories about the DIY scene. So the fact that like I was like, hey, I've already like talked to these guys and they are okay with letting me, they're okay with being publicly known in this way that can be dangerous for people who are running DIY spaces. Like you got to keep a lid on that. Cops will shut you down. And that was where they were living. So they trusted me because I'd actually done a grad school project about their space before. So I also knew what I was talking about and could show the editor like, yeah, I'm not full of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you were probably living in Evanston.
No.
You were living in the city.
I lived in Lincoln Park.
Okay.
I knew I wanted to live in the city because I knew that grad school would obliterate my schedule, that like I would be working all the time. And I love cities. And I knew that if my time here was limited, if I wasn't going to stay in Chicago, I wanted to experience as much of it as I could. And I say that, but I moved to Lincoln Park, like I didn't know. I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know. But it worked out because the commute, like I could hop on the Purple Line to get to class. And half of my classes were also downtown in like the, Northwestern's, the journalism department has like a little floor in a building in the Loop. So it was like, it ended up being great for me. I could have like a nice commute. I could read. Red Eye was a thing then. So
right, when you get off the train, they hand you the paper.
Yeah, they were like really handing out paper. So on my way to class, I got a copy of the Red Eye. On Thursday mornings, I got a copy of the Reader. I felt like a real city boy. Yeah, and like Evanston, I have like no sense of. I'd get off the train. I'd walk to the one building at Northwestern that I knew because that's where all my classes were. And then at 5 p.m. I'd, like hustle home and do homework. And, if I could manage to write some freelance work, because I was freelancing for a website called True Slant, which ended up being purchased by Forbes, and Forbes like laid off a bunch of their top editors so that to install like the True Slant folks in those positions. The Contributor Network was a creation of True Slant. And, I don't think that's necessarily benefited Forbes in the long run. It benefited me because I ended up writing for Forbes for a bit. But
cool.
Yeah, that's how there's no reason I had to write for Forbes. It didn't make a lot of sense, but it was pretty easy to convince people to talk to me because I could be like, yeah, I'm writing for Forbes.
Right, that sounds cool. I mean, it is cool.
I mean, yeah, I got King Louie on the phone like really shortly after he signed to Epic. And then I forget which song he referenced being in Forbes. So that was cool.
So the Red Eye and the Readers, how you got hip to stuff?
Yeah, more the Reader. I mean, no shade to Red Eye. But like the Reader was covering stuff that I was more interested in. I mean, this is before Ernest started writing for Red Eye. This is before Kyle started writing for Red Eye. This is, I mean, like Chicago hip hop wasn't really in Red Eye at that point. A lot of music that I was in, like underground punk and emo and indie stuff that I was interested wasn't in Red Eye. The local stuff wasn't in Red Eye really.
Well, I forget what was even in Red Eye.
National
like
entertainment stuff. Yeah, it was condensed news. It was they ran some trib stories. They ran, they had their own writers who
and they print it every day, right?
every day. It's
or is it weekly?
It was 5 days a week.
A new edition. That's
yeah.
nuts.
Yeah. And it was the largest paper in town at the time.
Yeah.
Like it was remarkable. Like the only reason that failed is because Tribune management completely threw them under the bus.
That they bought it, right?
Yeah, it had always been under
under
the Tribune, and the Tribune, like so many publications that are run by people whose interests are primarily how do we get another penny out of this thing. Like they saw this as an appendage that they could tear off, and they really did that paper dirty. That paper was allowing the Tribune to find a younger audience. Like that's how I think that did a great job of leading people to the Tribune in the first place.
Yeah.
And again, Ernest started writing for them. It was doing great stuff. Josh started, after Ernest left, Josh came in and Josh managed to focus almost exclusively on local music. Which
that was cool.
Yeah. And Ernest did incredible stuff covering the local scene too.
Yeah.
Boy, man, talking about those days is really, it felt like the opportunities were greater.
Yes.
Back in my day.
The golden years.
Yeah, it did. I mean, journalism wasn't in a great place, but there were,
it was better.
There were more opportunities for because I came here for grad school and I started freelancing. And I gave myself a year to stay in Chicago because it was it's cheaper than the East Coast. I'm just going to go back home, which isn't interesting to me. I've done some freelancing, so I know that I can possibly make some money off this, even if it is just to cover groceries. Yeah. And I gave myself a year to see if I could make it in Chicago. And within 5 months, I landed a contract gig at the Reader.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I, at the same time, also landed a job at legacy.com, which is an obituary website. And the job was monitoring comments, which is perhaps the most depressing thing you could do.
Not only is it an obituary website, but the comments are probably
yeah, I mean,
what I can only imagine is awful.
Yeah, which is why they need hired content moderators, because sometimes people will just say nasty things.
Yeah.
And I am very glad that I got those two offers simultaneously, so that I didn't have to spend a single hour looking at people post really nasty things about somebody who just passed away.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, I mean, but it's also necessary. I mean, the world of obituaries. I love writing obituaries. I know that might seem morbid, but
no, I could see why you would.
It is an opportunity to talk to people about somebody who means the world to them.
Have you done that often?
Yeah.
Okay. For the Reader?
Yeah, for the Reader.
Okay.
Yeah, the last one that I did was, the last big one that I did was on Dion. When it was a little bit after DJ Dion passed.
Yeah.
Because the summer is just crazy. But, I talked to his eldest daughter about...
Yeah, celebratory.
Yeah, it's celebratory, but also not it's not a mash note. It's not hagiography. It's it's written in a real specificity of time and place. And DJ Dion didn't make pop music. He made great music, but it's nasty. I hopefully I was able to capture that and just capture parts of his life that aren't familiar to. He's an international figure. Everybody, every single obituary, mine included, mentioned Daft Punk, giving him a shout out on, on teachers.
Legendary shit.
Yeah, for good reason.
Yeah.
But being able to say specifically where he came from and how he related to other people and how he sought to quell divisions within the ghetto house scene in the 90s was, just learning about that from the people who mean so much to him, that's a gift. And being able to find a way to tell people about that and to capture that specificity is one, it's challenging, but it's rewarding to be able to do that. That's why I love doing that when people don't die, obviously. And I try to to do that as much as I possibly can, because there's just so many cool people doing really amazing stuff in Chicago specifically that are contributing to the culture in ways that I think is really hard for people to hear if you're not doing our work 24/7.
No, you're doing it. I'm doing it less.
But you're also doing it. But you also cover stuff that I don't. There's like, this is the third largest city in the country.
Yeah.
There are so many people doing amazing things, and you're picking up stuff that I'm learning from you.
Oh, that's nice.
It's true though.
Thanks.
It's not like I'm you say I'm nice, but I'm also not like, I'm not trying to like,
You're not gassing me.
I'm not, I understand I am gassing you, but it's, it comes from a real place.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so thrilled that you're still writing for us.
Yeah. Here and there.
Hey,
it's been a while, but yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
yeah.
you were in the best of.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. No, that was fun.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm impressed with you is that your music taste is just so far reaching. And how do you have to be so, because I'm come from the school of thought of like, write what you know, right? But you know so much, like, about so many genres. Like, how do you keep up? How do you feel knowledgeable and like you can do it?
Fake it till you make. I think that's sort of what I love about having this job, is that my whole day, if I use my day well, is learning about this stuff. Is having that time to like really listen to music that I'm not familiar with and see what catches my ear and be like, oh, cool. What, like, let's see where this takes me. Like, who are some other artists that like have a connection to this person? Like, what else have they done? Like, like being able to like really get as deep as I possibly can in a,
it's still really impressive because you've done it for so many genres. Like, it's not just rap, it's not just indie, like it's not just rock. Like, you write about everything with like expertise, and it's like really impressive. I try,
and I also know that the limitation, I'm one person. My limitations are very real, and I try to reach out to people who will know more than me, and 100% of the time it's the people who are involved in that. And I think I'm really lucky in in being in Chicago and like being able to reach out to people who know better and them giving me the time of the day to actually like explain things. I think the first time I met Andrew Barber in person, I was cat sitting for some friends in Wicker Park who had just gotten like brand new kittens, like real fresh. Like, these guys were crawling over everywhere and shedding. And he came up to their place. It was for a story about the connections between hip hop in Chicago and streetwear companies, like locally based streetwear companies. And he very kindly like came up and like talked to me and like gave me his story and gave me his perspective. And these cats were like shedding all over him. You know what I mean? Like, Andrew is so sweet and so kind to people and open with his time, and he knows everything. Like, he knows everything.
Yeah.
There was a period where anytime I wrote a hip hop story, I'm like, I'm calling Andrew.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of should get back into the habit of doing that just to like see how he's doing, because it's been a minute. So, like, him and Ty, like there was a period where just like every, like they were at every hip hop show that I was going to. I miss Ty. Andrew lives here, right. Yeah, I miss Ty.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're going to listen to your first pick. This is Metro Boomin and Future's song Everyday Hustle featuring Rick Ross.
Everyday hustle like William. Yeah. Everyday hustle like William, I'm charging the chicken just for the verse, yeah. I get in that kitchen, I could go to work, I go berserk, yeah. Go out and get it, secure the city, can't sink like the Titanic. Bitch don't want my free band bandit. This paper coming to me 24 hours, I can't go sleep. I know the power of $1, told 50 rounds at least, bro. She know I get money, she know. Soon as I up, let's go. Just like double low. Stay down with me or let me go. Start the whip out just like clothes. Inspire me to whip up the flow. She with me, she down like the bros. Holding me down like the chosen. Early in the morning, go. Late up at night, go. Just be precise. Got a pack for the flight. showed up. Smacking cougars like Trina. Water flow, aquafina. Water. Science to me like Tina. Sipping dope out the liter. Meditation off the kush. Drinking high tech and Trish. New Bugatti, y'all check the fists out. Soon as the bitch check the wrist out. You down or you scared? I knew she was just about to say it. I break a little bread. Don't let this shit go to your head. Biggest. Going broke, niggas in the panic. Selling dope, niggas in the pallet. Young killer, city full of talent. You testify, I hate to see it happen. New bitch, never meet the parents. Triple beam, I'ma keep it balanced. Built the bunker real deep in Tampa. Got 200 cars, haters screaming. Baby mama still the biggest out. Team of shooters just to keep it locked. Rolls Royce, you can keep the top. Bag of old money, let it see it rock. Yellow bitch, better keep it pampered. Luther Campbell, I'm the new example. Metro booming, time to cue the sample. Niggas moving bricks, then you can use the family. Black jet, I just flew to Texas. Sipping tuss, mama came second. Never seen me on ketamine, but for the real team, I can win the game. In the cell on the cell phone. How you selling dope when it smell wrong? Yeah. Oh, whoa. Yeah. Fighting for your life, spin by the house pillar. Bad face, just like I'm Lil' Critter. Body snatchers, wig splitters, cap pillars, grave diggers, snake niggas. Ain't nobody safe, nigga. Meet me at the nearest coat spot. Middle of the slum, standing at the boat dock. Loading up cash, moving in the U-Haul. Went inside my bag when I took a roof off. Crash dummy, going retarded, spending cash money. Smashing in a demon, still a smasher European. Gold digging bitches, you can't tell the nigga shit. He just got his first switch, can't tell these little niggas shit. Tryna put him on some game, he rather you put him on a hit. Living in the trenches, it's survival of the fittest. 30 milligrams, niggas rather take the fit. Niggas got it out the buzz, codeine when you piss. Drop a brick in the toilet, you ain't talking about shit. Drop a brick in the toilet, you ain't talking about shit.
That shit don't pop in the hood, man. You talking about the grimy nigga in the hood? I don't know what little supposed to be hood you from, but in the real hood in America, that shit don't fly. We don't listen to that bullshit, son.
So we have a moment to talk about some pop culture shit, which is Metro Boomin and Future's album and all of the fucking beef on there.
Sure, yeah.
But you know, why did you like this song?
I think the beat is a major reason.
Yeah.
I'm perhaps like the worst millennial rap writer because Future's like, I'm not a huge Future fan.
Mm-hmm.
I like him. Mm-hmm. You put him on and I'll like, yeah.
But you like Rick Ross?
I do like Rick Ross. Yeah. I think the way that the instrumental works with Future's personality in particular on that song is so striking.
Yeah.
And I mean that snapped me out of a real funk when I heard it. I was like, this is incredible.
Yeah.
I do want to hear Future like rap more over instrumentals like that.
Yeah, I would say a lot of the songs on that album are very Future beats.
Yeah.
So it's nice to hear him on something different.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like he has a lot. He's a very talented rapper. He's a very, like, he has a lot of range. He has a lot of emotional range. And I think being able to hear it in a different context allows me to really appreciate what he does normally.
Yeah. Do you think bars are back? Do you think that this album brought bars back? That's what the internet said. I don't know.
I mean, I'm of the opinion that like they never went away. You know, like
we're talking about like the mainstream rap audience.
Yeah.
Not like us, which is not the norm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like not everyone's listening to Billy Woods.
Yeah.
Yeah. But even in the mainstream, I mean, Kendrick is obviously on this album. What did you think? It's good. Is it Control? Like,
I know that.
Yeah, like obviously thought of Control because like Kendrick, I think up until that point could be seen as, wow, that's so passive. It was easy for me to see Kendrick as like a really nice guy. Mm-hmm. Like I could not imagine him fighting everyone until that song came out.
He murked everybody.
Oh yeah.
He murked Sean and it was Big Sean's song.
Yeah, that was incredible. And that's my favorite Big Sean song because of that. Yeah. I'm not, like Big Sean seems fine.
And then Big Sean put out a freestyle recently also.
Sure.
Where he talks about the big three.
That was like
maybe the week before the song came out.
Okay.
And it's like Big Sean could never win.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know.
I mean, you know.
What if Drake... Wait, who said that Drake was hopping on some Detroit rapper? What if it's Big
Interesting.
Sean? Anyway, whatever.
I mean, I feel like Drake's pretty calculating when it comes to like appearing on other rappers, and that just strikes me as like I think he'd have lost it if the Detroit rapper is Big Sean.
Yeah. No, I wrote about this ad nauseum for Complex, so I'm just like knee deep in it. If you look at the Complex homepage, it's like every story is Diddy or Future's album, because Metro Boomin allegedly had beef with Drake.
Fascinating.
Yes. Do you want me to go on?
Yeah, please do. Fill me in. Yeah.
So apparently, Metro Boomin tweeted about how I forget what his album was called. The one he just put out. Whatever. His album wasn't winning accolades, and Her Loss was winning accolades, and he was tight, And then Drake went on live and was like, he just subbed Metro, basically, So like,
wow.
And then I don't know. And then like Metro's like, oh, we don't have beef, which is again what he said. He was like, oh, me and Drake don't have beef, even though like Future's, I don't know, somebody fucked somebody's girl. Anyway, whatever. There's a whole lot of drama.
It's fascinating.
Yes.
I feel it like Wait,
are you fucking with me? Or are you?
No,
really?
it's fascinating because
think beef is interesting.
Beef is interesting, and this feels like it feels like the stakes are so low.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
High and low.
Yeah. And that's your job. Like, this is a part of your job in a way that isn't mine. Yeah. So I'm like, ooh, tell me more, I don't have to be like fully invested in it, and it doesn't feel like work for me. So apologies if it feels
I think writing about beef is probably the most interesting part.
Yeah.
Because also like on Control, Kendrick like shit on Drake too, It's like we just bring it back around. I'm like, could you really? I mean, like Kendrick, like big three, like Kendrick, Drake, and J. Cole, like really, who's I mean, anyway,
what is J. Cole doing in there? Is my opinion.
Being a backpack rapper.
Yeah. and again, when we talk about like our bars back, like he's a very popular rapper who represents a kind of like, I'm an MC. I'm a guy who drops bars.
Right.
I don't think they're particularly good bars, but
I mean, after he admitted online that he doesn't read, like he really lost me.
Yes. Yeah.
And that was with No Name, and that's No Name. Like,
oh my God.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, say less. This next record is by Hook. It's called Mattress.
Je regarde la trappe, le monde m'explose, y'a une choulerie qui pélo sur l'autoroute. Parce qu'il y a trop de doutes, je suis sans doudou, je lui fais un bisou. On passe relax dans l'axe, sur la frappe, tu me tires le coup. Je suis courageux, mais je suis trop si fou. Je suis une tente à jour, je te compte à jour. Moi je joue, toi tu es contre joue. La caille des scènes, ressale moral, ce genre de pays là me cale mental. J'ai mis mes centres avec le plus tout. Maintenant je suis plus sur le banc de la touche. Casque derrière, c'est ça qui te plaît. Quand tu pilotes, tu me soignes mes plaies. Oh bah seulement ce qui te relaxe.
Yeah. How you see me on the other side? Made a dip like Moses, part the waves on another line. I go so ocean. I don't know how to cope it. I just got a new ouch here. That mean he ain't out here. Make a dance, little dap me. And I don't worry if it's sack here. I mean, that's kind of rhetorical. And I make everything count. I'm not talking about $1.50. And I made it off the porch. That's probably why you're not sitting with me. You got a portion of Popeye seeds. Sensei, what's a senti? I don't have no sentence. So these bars hit quickly. Wrong, right, it's a good deed. My last words was finish him. Made a mail, say kidding me. And if I cop it, it's not a big T. Make it a fence, a profit. Get a toothpick or a guitar pick. Got hot chips from the tropic. But she not looking too exotic. Say, oh, cloud in college. But she never dropped out of college. Like I failed out with my op bitch. I just failed out with my op bitch. Easy A, easy A. to them. I gotta get to the scrapes. Say you got a shin. Tell me what did you gain? She just say go it shakes, but I do not make it shake. You are the last thing on my mind. You are the last thing on my mind. I'd give you the last thing of mine.
Okay, so I want to talk about Reader's Best of Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay, so it comes out every February. People vote for different polls like Best Art Gallery, Best Chicago TikTok, Best Bartender, and then there are reader staff picks. I mean, that's cool. Like, what is it you like about, you wrote a couple things and like the reader staff picks are fun because we just pitch like crazy. I mean, mine was less crazy, but like everybody's like, pitches are just crazy.
Oh yeah. It's, I have a lot of fun. I think I have more fun coming up with ideas for the best of issue than actually writing them, because then it's like, oh no,
right.
I gave myself all this work. I think I wrote like 7 things
Oh,
for
shit.
this. Yeah.
What did you write? You wrote about real ones, right?
I wrote about real ones. Yeah, I wrote about Tyrell interviewing his doppelganger, Zach Fox, because I thought that was an incredible bit. And I love that Zach Fox like totally leaned into it. And yeah, it's a great opportunity to write about real ones, and there's no category in which like
that would fit.
Yeah, like I think the category that I came up with is like best like rap blog that's taken an internet bit to its logical fun conclusion or something, just like a run-on sentence of a category. But it was a nice opportunity to write about like a bunch of people doing really cool things. And I wrote about Blorpus Editions, which is a web-only experimental label that is related to another like a decade-long running cassette experimental label called Hausu Mountain. And yeah, again, like I think it was like Howard, like best net label related to another experimental label. And I wrote about the fact that Max, who runs the label, put out Twister 2, which the person who made it was like, this is an ambient score for the movie Twister.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I used to be obsessed with that movie.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
What do you think of the new one that's coming out this summer?
I think I kind of knew that, but
yeah.
Nothing will beat the original.
Yeah.
It was like a fear obsession. It was like tornadoes terrify me, and we have tornado drills to school like once a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because I was in St. Louis, so it's like Tornado Alley adjacent. But we would have tornado drills all the time. So I was really like morbidly obsessed with Twister.
Yeah, understandable. I was morbidly obsessed with Mars attacks, which made no sense. I was never, the potential of like Mars attacking, pretty low growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that a funny movie?
It was a funny movie.
Okay, I don't think I've seen it.
It terrified me when it came out.
Oh, Independence Day. I was also obsessed with Independence Day.
Yeah.
But yeah, again, in like what if that actually happened?
Yeah.
And aliens were like such a, aliens in the 90s was like a vibe, like the movie Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just like.
And also Will Smith's, like so many of his big hits during that area were like alien adjacent. I love Will Smith. Yeah.
Even with all the controversy.
Yeah.
What else did you write about?
Oh man, I wrote about Jamila Woods and Gia Margaret's collaboration on Jamila's recent album, which was like a best like emo collaboration that isn't part of like that's outside of the Midwest emo scene. And that just gave me an opportunity to write about like really, really hair splitting genre categorization. Because Jamila loves Taking Back Sunday and like loves emo. So,
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, she's obviously big fan. I wrote about Andre Vasquez trolling, in my opinion, one of the worst alter people, Ray Lopez, on Halloween by dressing up as a Little Free Library. Because Ray Lopez was like trying to push through legislation to essentially police Little Free Libraries and like
the ones that have a little, and you take the books out.
Yeah, just like, people put them up in their front lawns and, anyone can put in a book or take out a book. Yeah. What a huge waste of time.
Yeah,
I think,
absolutely.
I think very little of Ray Lopez.
Yeah, that's stupid.
That's like that is like his major contribution. I'm glad Chewy like wiped his ass in the recent election. God, I wrote about the best 14th inning stretch in a championship minor league baseball game.
I feel like I'm just like, really? This is like a look into your brain.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really is the best of issue, I think, really is an opportunity for all, like, people who contribute to the paper and know about like weird shit that's happening in the city to actually like get some space to write about stuff that might not be like there's like no obvious hook during the year. The opportunity to write about it that was obvious like may have passed. And it's just like a funny way to draw people into our personal obsessions. Yeah. And the, like funny. It's great to have like fun with things that I'm ordinarily writing about anyway.
Yeah.
So
very niche. I love it. It's
yeah.
fun. Everyone loves it.
Yeah.
Everyone's excited to get to be like on the poll and to be voted, like on Instagram.
It's very cool. And they do the work for me. I don't have to push that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
How'd you feel about what you wrote?
Oh, it was cool. I think it was again like I had wanted to write about Bonita and Mochi's Emma Piano Party, but I just never got the opportunity, and like I stopped freelancing, so it was my chance to get in there a little bit, but it's fun.
Yeah, and it's good to have you back in the pages.
Yeah. The next song we're gonna listen to is by Mannequin Pussy, Loud Bark. I will say I haven't heard of any of these artists that you're playing today, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Future.
Besides that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, these days, music discovery is definitely more difficult. We're not in our SoundCloud era anymore. So how do you find music?
I I focus way too much on Bandcamp, which has like
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's largely, it's not like a political thing, and it absolutely couldn't be because they fired half of their staff recently and like totally screwed the union. It's largely the library is huge, and the interface for finding stuff is way better than any other. Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
They've changed it up a little, but it's still like you can search by genre and then location. And so like every week I'm like, oh, Chicago, what's, like what just came out? Like what is the weirdest thing that like 5 people are going to listen to, and just like give it,
Does it give you stats or anything?
You can see who's purchased an album, and it shows like the icons of people who purchased, their profiles like beneath, and that's kind of the closest thing, but you can't really see like how many times they have been listened. Pardon me, have been listened to. So yeah.
But you still use Twitter. Like can be good sometimes.
I've like weaned myself off Twitter pretty significantly. Like I haven't posted since last year. I'm kind of refused to at this point. I go on occasion, just to be like, well, I hope I'm not like missing anything. Sometimes like a source will DM me to be like, hey, this is happening. I'm like, cool. I'll email you.
Yeah.
It's just like a depressing wasteland, and
I know.
Like the usefulness has really fallen apart. But yeah, occasionally I find new music there too.
Because if you scroll enough, like somebody posted a video.
Yes. Yeah. And I also got depressed like looking at videos of people in Gaza like dying and being killed, and like I can't. They're
that's real.
Well, that's
too real.
Yeah, there's only so much that I can watch. That would be helpful to anyone. So.
Yeah, I just feel like the saturation of the market, like really, like SoundCloud is hard to even navigate.
Oh yeah, like so many of these places are really hard to navigate, and I'm reluctant to spend. I do spend a lot of time on Bandcamp, and I think that's to my detriment because I could also be using that time to seek out music elsewhere. But I'm never short on things that are like interesting to me.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that then.
Yeah, give it a shot. Rate Your Music is like a totally weird, like it has a very specific dude metal taste. There's like their charts. It's just like, wow, I never knew so many metal albums could exist in the top 10 of the year kind of thing, which is cool. Like that's
different
where
than
I
like everywhere else.
Yeah. And I wish, I think my sense of like what's happening in hip hop is like totally warped in a lot of ways. Like I'll learn about like Milwaukee stuff, which is great because I want to know about what's happening in Milwaukee. The Milwaukee scene's like absurd, and so like so many people there are so prolific. But like I miss Fake Shore posting. I miss that. Like I'll see what the playlists are going on. But like having like one definitive anchor where just like all of my news can come from there, and I can dive deeper. That's discombobulating. That's like more discombobulating to me than like not having a like one website where I can just like find all the music that I want.
Yeah, it's not like that anymore. I just feel like when I really started writing, like music discovery was important to national publications, and like it's just not like everyone's writing with the same 5 artists all the time.
Yeah.
And like places like the Fader and stuff still write about new artists, but it's not, people don't seek out the Fader like they did 10 years ago.
No, I'm honestly surprised that it's still published.
Yeah, me too.
And that's
and even Pigeons has like fallen back on a lot of their content. So.
And that's no shade to anyone writing to any of these places. Like get your bylines, like do the best work that you can. But there's the network of websites and outlets that had covered music even 5 years ago has really vanished, and it's scary.
It is scary.
Because music is really important, and it deserves to be given kind of a critical coverage and thoughtful coverage, and it's harder and harder to find that, which is frustrating.
It's also harder for writers and journalists.
Oh, absolutely. Newsletters are great. Like blogging in general is great, but you also have to have the support and time and like the lack of financial stress in order to actually focus on that and like do consistently good work. And also like doing that without an editor can be really challenging. Absolutely.
A good editor will save you.
Yeah. That's
why you listen to the Blog Era.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I actually haven't listened to the blog
you
era.
need
How?
to.
Okay. Okay.
You need to.
Okay.
I don't not like a super. I do listen to podcasts, but not like that.
Okay.
But it's really good, and it's like kind of nostalgic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for the times where we blogged.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have. I find like I don't have the energy for. I try to write for myself when I can, but then
Yeah.
everything else kind of gets in the way.
Yeah. Writing for yourself is hard.
It is. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna take another music break. Years at the Reader is crazy.
Yeah.
How do you not burn out?
I need the money.
That's real.
Deadlines, help. I do burn out though.
But what do you do? It's like, it's really hard to write that much.
Yeah. And if I didn't have consistent deadlines and I have to write a certain number of articles every week, every month, and there is a kind of a routine to it. And I just went on vacation, and right beforehand, talking to Philip, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to do this one story that I wanted to do before I go. Like, my brain is completely sapped.
Yeah.
And we were working on The Best of Chicago right before I went on vacation. We published it the day that I was flying to Japan. And I wrote like a 10th of that issue. I just kept getting assignments. And so I was like, I'm going to die if I don't. If I don't pull back a little.
Yeah,
so I'm really fortunate. Philip is a considerate editor, and we're all human. We all need our time, our downtime. Burnout is very real.
Yes.
I don't have a precise answer for that.
Yeah. Taking a break is literally the only thing I got.
Yeah, exactly. This is a break from my routine. I think before the pandemic, especially, my work allowed me to go out in the field a lot more often. And there's nothing preventing me from doing that now, but I do seem to spend a lot more time writing. And even though my, the volume of work hasn't changed that drastically, I don't know why it's harder for me to get the opportunity to make the time to go and do stuff in the field in the way that I once was able to. But that certainly helped me. It's like, cool, I'm going to go do an interview in a part of town that I don't spend any time in. That's cool. That's exciting to me. Like that's a nice boost. Being able to talk to people is always fun.
Yeah. But are you doing more interviews on the phone?
We're doing a lot of interviews on the phone. I think that's also, and that's also it. I think kind of the nature of some of the stories that I've done are a lot more complex. And I end up doing way more interviews for them. It's kind of it's a running joke that I write, I keep threatening to write a 10,000 word story. And that is a running joke, but some of my stories are,
we would read that.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Yeah. I do want to, my desire to do that remains strong. But yeah, on the regular, I'll write 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 word stories that involve a ton of interviews and all these moving parts. And a lot of that I end up doing on the phone. It is easier for everyone. And it's still that is a nice break to be able to talk to somebody about themselves and learn about their life in a way that isn't legible to me or anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, being able to do that in the field is not what this is a nice break from my day. And I've come here to do stories, and that's been so fun to be in the space where creative stuff happens. I forget how many times I've been over here.
Yeah.
So, which is cool. That's a gift to be able to be I've done this so often.
You wrote the anniversary story. When was that?
No, I didn't.
That you did not?
No, that was Block Club.
No, not the recent one. The one from a while ago, like 2016.
The first one. Was that an anniversary story?
Or some story? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a fun story.
I was in that photo.
Yeah.
You do?
Oh,
That's nice.
that's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I do want to be able to do that a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know,
It's a different world, but like being in person still counts for something.
yeah.
You know,
Oh,
for a lot.
totally. Yeah. And you know, my life has changed too. I'm married. You know, my priorities are different. I'm older. You know, I'm not that eager to like go to a studio at 10 p.m. to like sit in on a recording session. Like, you know, that's
real.
That's fine. Like it's fun. I want people who are excited about that to have those opportunities. So, yeah. I mean, do invite me to your recording studio if you want to. No pressure. But yeah, I wish I could be in more places at once.
Maybe similar, but what do you do when you feel inspired to write?
When I feel uninspired to write,
or like writer's block.
Yeah,
or,
I do take a break.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I think I'm not writing breaking news. As much as I do need to be on the clock, I do have flexibility. If you know, I get my work done, I make sure that I meet my deadlines. I make sure that I do everything that I can, but I also try to make sure that I give myself room in the middle of the day to like go for a walk. You know, I live in Albany Park and I love to walk, and like there's so much green space, and it's nice to be able to take a break in the middle of the day. You know, when it's nice out, I'll like go shoot hoot. There are like a bunch of basketball courts near me, so I'll take. Are you nice? You know, when I am. And that's
okay,
25% of the time.
Okay, I mean, that's better than zero.
It is better than zero. I play with a bunch of guys. We have like a running pickup game on weekends. And that's been, I mean, I started doing that 2-3 summers ago, and that's been like great. That is like that rejuvenates me. I wake up stupid early on a weekend. I never thought I would voluntarily do that as an adult.
It's getting older.
Yeah, it is getting, yeah.
You got shit to do.
Yeah.
Got to make the most of your day.
But the you know, kind of I don't get paid a lot, you know. A lot of people, music journalism is not respected in the way that I think it demands to be, in a way that I think everyone doing this work should be taken seriously. Not compensated
for the work.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, not enough.
And I'm not doing this for the money. I mean, I'm obviously doing this for the money. I need an income.
Yeah.
You know, I have to pay. I have bills. But having a job like this, one of the appeals is that I do have some flexibility.
Yeah.
So I can be like, hey, I'm going to take a little time off right now to focus like that. Hanif, I've seen him say this, like going for a walk and being in nature, like that is a part of writing that allows you to get the words on the page. Anything you do that allows you to get the words on the page in the best way that they come out, it helps. So
that's beautiful.
It's not me. I'm misquoting somebody else.
Thank you for bringing it to me.
Yes, you're welcome.
Otherwise.
Yeah.
So what are you excited about in Chicago now? Music, otherwise?
Oh boy. I mean, you know, wow, that is a hard question. It's one of the bands we were just listening to is this band Frico. That just came off of their big debut album with ATO Records. They're part of like a teenage indie scene that is really prolific right now, and it's so cool to me to see young people figure things out musically, creatively for themselves as like the priority. Like a bunch of those bands are starting to like get on big tours, like Frico's playing Lollapalooza. Another band that they like, Nico, who's the frontman for that. He's 23.
Okay.
He's the oldest. Like he's the oldest in that scene. A bunch of those bands are still in high school. And they're, you know, like cool. Lifeguard, I think 2 of the 3 members are still in high school, and they're constantly playing like the Empty Bottle. They're like opening for every big indie band of note. And they're signed to Matador Records, that being like a huge indie label that's been operating since the 80s, I want to say.
In Chicago.
They're in Chicago, the label's in New York. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's exciting to me in a way that I'm always like learning more about what those kids are doing. I mean, kids are always going to be an engine for music
Absolutely.
everywhere. It's like the big hip hop explosion in Chicago was like a youth movement.
Yeah.
Like drill was a youth movement. The like literary, scene, totally youth oriented. So it's always going to be the young people that are going to be doing interesting stuff. Obviously, like age shouldn't be the primary motivator there, but like music is the art form that speaks most specifically to young people.
Yeah.
So it's always cool to learn when there's like like people who are half my age doing something like that. It's totally out of left field. That's awesome. The jazz scene is more and more interesting to me.
These are the things
days.
I'm trying to tap into.
Yeah.
So you have to put me on.
Dorian's and Dorian's is where there are a lot of like jazz shows. God, where else are they? We'll talk.
Okay.
Okay. But like, the Ishmael. God, what is Ishmael's last name? That's terrible. I did not come prepared. But he's got a new album coming out soon. He recently joined the AACM, and I'm like not a jazz guy, but it's
like this like neo jazz, like who's everybody? Yusef Davies? Yusef, I forget his name. But like that's the new guy that everyone was talking about.
Yeah.
His album was good though.
I mean,
like Theo Croker, his album was good.
Yeah. The fact that Andre 3000 put out a flute album, and it totally makes sense. It's not a stretch, and a bunch of the people who are in his band have connections to Chicago or Chicago labels. Like he was here for a week, and he was going to like listening parties for international anthem albums. Like
that's so cool.
Yeah, it's so cool.
He's such a cool guy.
Yeah, yeah. But there, that sort of scene is feels like the wrong word, because there's so many generations and so many little pockets that are, they're operating independently of the other ones, and also there's like a great deal of overlap, and that's cool to me. There's, I'm just always excited to learn about something that I don't already know, so that keeps me interested. And minor league baseball season's starting, so I gotta go.
Less, right?
Yeah, exactly. Gotta get me some $1 hot dogs, and be the weird 38-year-old
shy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm excited for it to be warmer and to take more advantage of that.
Definitely. Well, we're gonna close out with Yule, Anthems for a 17-year-old Girl. Thank you, Leor, for joining me today, and thank you for everyone to tuning in to Something Slight. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Young Noodle Cup. That's YUNG Noodle Cup. And Private Stock Studios on Instagram and Twitter at PVTSTCK. And Leor, where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram at the real I'm Leor.
As opposed to the fake.
Yeah. Somebody else had I'm Leor. I'm furious. And I'm on Blue Sky, which like 10 people are on Blue Sky.
What is that?
It's like a Twitter. It's Jack from Twitter. He like made essentially a very similar platform. It's
you
fine.
should have never left.
yeah.
Anyway.
Oh man. Don't go to Twitter. Don't look at my Twitter. It's blocked and I don't use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We'll be back on April 17th for our next episode.